Hello! Today I will be walking you through a recipe that I have been working on for a rather long time. The goal of this recipe is to reliably and lazily produce well-cooked pasta. Here's what you will need. A 1 gallon or 4-quart pot. My pot comes with a strainer. If yours does not, then you will also need a strainer. The oil of your choice. Mine is olive oil. But if you don't have a preference, simply choose whichever's cheapest, such as vegetable oil. Pasta. This should work with all forms of pasta, but I've chosen bronze cut spaghetti. I will be explaining the phenomena behind the processes which facilitate this excellent cooking process so that you can appreciate the simplicity of it. In essence, you're making the universe do the cooking for you. First, fill up your pot, preferably with hot water. A convenient way to know when your pot is full is if your pot has little rivets that connect the handle. Usually, once you fill the water up to those rivets, that should be enough. Next, place the pot on your stove and set it to either medium or high. You're trying to get the water warm ahead of time. Next, put in your oil. The oil serves a double function. It will prevent your water from boiling over, and it will add a background of flavor to the pasta. This background is usually not perceptible, but if you or someone you love can perceive it, then it is a touch that will go very well. Once you've placed in the oil, put in your pasta. While I'm putting in the pasta, I'm going to clarify something. You should not put salt in your water because salt will cause the water to boil faster. Water boiling faster does not mean that it gets cooked faster. It simply lowers the temperature after which water turns from a liquid to a gas. We want the liquid to be as high a temperature as possible so that we can cook the pasta as best as possible, at least in this method. Once you've placed the pasta into your pot, start your timer at 30 minutes. The heat will remain on high until the end of this timer. And you will not need to stir the pasta at any point. This is because with the increased thermal mass added by the exclusion of salt, and the time being a little longer than some other recipes, convection will occur within the water. Convection will cause the water to move inside the space, constantly alternating from the top to the bottom. When you leave the water alone to cook like this convection becomes so strong that the water cooks the pasta and stirs it at the same time. Now, the oil allows this to happen by preventing the water from boiling over, but if you add a little too much water, sometimes a little bit of water will come out of the pot. Luckily, this isn't a big problem because, especially with the help of the oil, the water will usually just drip down the pot, sizzle on the heating element, and turn into vapor, which is completely harmless. At this point, you are advised to chill. Although you do not need to stir your pasta, there's no reason that you shouldn't check on it. Here we will be checking on the pasta in the middle of its cooking process in order to demonstrate the effects which allow this pasta to be automatic, as I have so named it. Here we can see that the water, which has allowed to become very hot, being kept in with a thin border film of oil, has resulted in water constantly pushing up from the bottom through the center and out towards the sides. This allows the water to move a lot while staying in a safe containment. And as you can clearly see, the pasta is being cooked by the water, making it flexible and noodly, as you would expect. But this flexibility also allows every single little facet of the pasta to be whipped around and exchanged by the water that's constantly flowing through it. This means that not only does your pasta not require stirring, but this might even be better than stirring. Although this does provide a clear advantage, it is understandable why some people would still wish to stir their pasta, as, after all, the kind of limit pushing that we are performing here in order to get cooked pasta might not be available in all situations. But it is most certainly available in the situation that you are simply hungry for some good old-fashioned pasta. And that is what this recipe excels at. Once your timer has expired, shut off your stove and prepare to strain your pasta. Once strained, you will have hot, fresh, and ready pasta to add whatever you like to. In my case, I'll be adding it to some softened butter. Delicious! I sincerely hope that this recipe will make your life just a little bit more delicious.